The email arrived at 2:11 a.m. No greeting, no warmth, just a forwarded invitation attachment. Wedding reception, Mr. and Mrs. Daniel Hawthorne. My son's name, except it wasn't my surname anymore. I stared at the screen, feeling nothing at first. That frightened me more than anger ever could. 8 years of silence, of birthdays unacknowledged, of calls unanswered, and this was how I found out he was married. Not from him, not from my daughter, but from a mistake, a blind carbon copy meant for someone else. The photo preview loaded slowly. White lights, gold chairs, a smiling man in a tailored suit standing where I should have been. I recognized the venue. I had once driven past it with my kids in the back seat, promising them that one day when they grew up, I'd take them somewhere better than fast food and roadside parks. They never waited. My chest tightened, not in grief, but in calculation. They had chosen sides long ago, when their mother cheated, when she lied, when she remarried the man who bought their loyalty with job titles and paychecks. They changed their names. They erased mine. I closed the laptop, and for the first time in 8 years, I decided to stop waiting for them to remember who I was. The divorce had been surgical, clean on paper, bloody underneath. She cried in court, perfectly timed, spoke about emotional neglect, about finding herself. She never mentioned the late nights, the unexplained hotel receipts, the way her phone never left her hand. When the truth surfaced, it wasn't dramatic. No lipstick on collars, no caught-in-the-act confession, just a single message that popped up while she was in the shower. Can't wait to make this official. The kids'll come around. The kids did come around, fast. They were adults by then, old enough to choose, and they chose the man who offered them promotions, company cars, futures wrapped in contracts and convenience. I became the inconvenience. They stopped calling, stopped visiting, stopped correcting people when my name disappeared from their lives. I told myself it was grief, that they were confused, that time would soften them. Time did not soften anything. It sharpened the truth. They didn't just leave me, they replaced me. I spent years quiet, watching, listening. I rebuilt my life without noise, without explanations. I let them believe I was defeated, bitter, irrelevant. But silence has a way of making room for thought. I noticed patterns, dates that didn't align, stories that shifted depending on who was listening. I ran numbers the way I used to in my old job, methodically, patiently. I didn't chase emotions, I chased facts. Background checks, corporate filings, old timelines reconstructed from archived emails and shared calendars. The man she married, the savior, the provider, had a history of buying loyalty, employees, partners, even families, especially families. I found documents buried under shell companies, offshore accounts, payments that predated the divorce by years. Then I saw it, a transfer, dated 9 months before my daughter was born. The room went quiet. I ordered tests, not out of hope, out of certainty. I had learned long ago, hope lies, data does not. The envelope arrived on a Tuesday, thin, white, clinical. I didn't open it immediately. I made coffee, sat down, let my pulse slow. 0% probability. For both of them. I read it twice, then a third time, not because I doubted it, but because I needed to feel the absence settle fully. They were never mine. That was the final cruelty, not just betrayal, but years of obligation built on a lie. I requested a meeting, not with her, with him. We sat across from each other in a glass-walled office, city humming beneath us. I slid the folder across the table. I already know, I said. His face drained of color. Not guilt, calculation gone wrong. He didn't deny it. That told me everything. I didn't raise my voice, I didn't threaten, I simply explained the sequence of events now set in motion. The audits, the legal exposure, the quiet reports already submitted.
The companies he used to buy silence were about to become liabilities. He begged, not for forgiveness, for time. I stood. "You bought my children," I said calmly. "You can keep them." Then I sent one message, to them. Attached were documents, timelines, proof. No accusations, no pleas, just truth. I blocked their numbers before the replies could arrive. I don't know what happened after. I don't need to. Some stories don't require witnesses, only endings. I walk past that wedding venue sometimes, still quiet, still untouched by regret. I no longer imagine who they became. I know who I did. The man who waited died years ago. What remains doesn't wait, doesn't beg, doesn't belong to anyone who had to be bought. They took my name off their lives. I took my life back. And that was the only inheritance that ever mattered.